One thing I've been curious about is if the backhoe could actually pick up these big blocks, and it doesn't even struggle. That's at idle. I don't even have it idled up. So, and I can move them around just fine, so I think this is going to be a good solution for a retaining wall. So the front of the retaining wall is going to go just a couple feet past the building, and then the building is going to go up close to the retaining wall, but not quite on the retaining wall. And then if you look over there in the distance, I don't know if you can see that pink flag by the dirt pile. That flag's 115 feet from where the corner of these two trenches meet. And I think I'm going to angle it that way a little more, so that I come off to the side of the pink stake. But there's nothing but rock. You get down about a foot, and it's just solid rock. I'm going to get a rock breaker so that I can do things like take off this high point, because I'm going to put blocks all along here to kind of give me some semblance of a retaining wall. So I just finished making a bucket of 1 inch clear with the rock crusher, but I've got my drain pipe running through the corner behind the wall, and it goes out the corner out that way. I've got a sock over it, perforated tube, so I've got half the retaining wall set. It's set on top of 3/4 inch minus and then hammered down really well. Stuff is, you can't hardly get that up with a pickaxe now. So now it's time to start filling over the drain pipe with the gravel, I guess about a foot deep or so. And then I've got some sock to put over the gravel. I cleared back about 4 or 5 feet because I'm going to put geogrid every foot or so. So I'm going to do 4 layers of geogrid. So I'm starting the backfill process, getting all this soil that I screened out, putting it in. And right here is the corner of the, I guess, the platform for the house. And it is sitting, the corner of the house will be sitting on top of this rock. It goes here. You can see it poking through right there, and pretty much the center of the pad for this corner is going to go right over the top of that rock. And then it's going to get built up a foot or so in every direction. Man, this is taking a lot of work. It should be worth it though. This is the corner of the retaining wall right here. And that big pile of dirt and rocks and trench and everything is now gone. All the way down to here, where the drain pipe comes out from behind the retaining wall. I fixed it all the way up to the property line. And that pile of rocks came from over here. And if you want to get a look at the way you've seen it in other pictures, this is how here's the kicker. Where I am standing is about 2 feet taller than the retaining wall. And this is sort of rock. It's breaking apart into the sandy stones. But this has to come down another 2 or 3 feet, which I guess is good because I can just take it from there and move it to there. No fussing about waiting for it to dry out so I can work on it. That's what happened whenever I tried to pack down what existed. Most of it's still too wet to pack down. So it's kind of pushed up there for right now to help it dry out, and then I'll come back and push it down. Burn pile is gone. It was as big as the Connex. Now it is gone, and there's a lot more space over there. Between the burn pile being gone and this over here getting sorted, it's starting to feel a little bit more like a thing where we're gonna live. Sunset's okay tonight, not beautiful, but not ugly for sure. Where I am standing is about 20 feet from that white rock right there. Right here, where this hole in the ground is, where my foot is 120 feet from that block. And right here where this white rock is, the ground under that white rock is level with the ground under the corner of that. So basically, this is the shallowest part right here. So from here over to there, I have to start building up. As a matter of fact, what I have to do is right there where that white rock is, I have to dig down 2 feet and set a block and then continue that way. So right now, I have most of the trench leveled. That new patch I just poured and kind of sort of leveled, but from here up is leveled. In about, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes, I'll have it out to here leveled, and then it's time to start placing blocks. Here's where the retaining wall started, and it took about 4 months off and on working on it when the weather would permit to get it built, putting the drain pipe behind it and layering this geogrid stuff underneath it, and then building up the next layer, and then building up more dirt, and then more geogrid. The retaining wall ended up being 120 feet long, and it took a while to build. But it's done, and moved on to the next stage. Right over here, it was about 6 or 8 feet tall of fill dirt, and on the other side of the property, there's this empty bald spot with this perfect red and blue shale over there, but I can't really dig it up with the front loader because it's too hard, so I have to use the backhoe to build up a pile of it, clean out all the roots and big rocks, and then I have to scoop it up and transport it to the house site. And this is what transporting the dirt to the house site looks like in real time. Okay, that's enough of that, but I just wanted to give you guys a feel for what it's like in real time. I have to use first gear on the backhoe, and that's slower than walking speed, and I have to go uphill with it, so I can't use anything other than first gear. And it's hauling about 3,500 pounds or 1.5 yards with every bucket. And to give you an idea of how much dirt this is, I worked on it for about 6 months, most days, most weekends. And I would move about 20 to 30 buckets after work in the evening. And on a Saturday, if I could get out there the whole day, I'd move somewhere around 60 buckets. And I did it for 6 months. So this was an enormous amount of dirt, of building it up on the house site. And then in front of the garage, you have to have a place to turn around, right? You can't just have a cliff. So my truck has the turning circle of the Titanic, so I had to build a pad out in front of the garage that's 40 feet wide and 40 feet wide by 60 feet, I think. And then from that turning pad, I had to build a ramp from the turning pad down to the culvert by the creek, which was another probably 2 weeks worth of building up dirt, because I kind of had a way to drive around a steady slope to the backside and then dump the dirt. But then it got to the point where it was just too steep, and I had to build a ramp to go from the valley there, right there where the tractor's crossing, to all the way up here, because I couldn't go around the backside anymore. And as the dirt gets higher, I have to make the ramp longer and less steep. So it just took months and months and months, thousands of tons of dirt. And so much so that this quarry site is what we call it. We joke the quarry site on the other side of the property. I probably moved $60,000 worth of fill dirt out of that quarry site. And we have some plans on what we're going to do. We're going to fill it in with some of the other stuff from around the property and flatten it out and put some topsoil over there, and it's going to be a nice garden, because it's probably a half-acre bald spot. But it saved, I mean, we paid $29,000 for that lot, and I got at least $60,000 worth of fill dirt out of it. So it was well worth every penny to get all of this dirt. And it's the best quality fill dirt you can get. I tried to purchase fill dirt, and it wasn't any better. It was actually worse than this. So I just kept getting it from our own property and moving it to over here. And this is sort of an up-close view of how I spread the dirt and do my best to get it as level as I can, and then what it looks like to pack it down. So that's, I don't know, maybe 6 inches thick, 8 inches thick. And then you just got to drive back and forth, back and forth, back and forth until you get every square inch of it packed down. Then go get more dirt and do the same thing. And I did this for months and months and months. I started sometime in March, and I finished it up sometime in July before we were able to move on to the next phase. So this is the patch of dirt just compacted, and I don't have like a professional grade compaction tester. What I have is an old rake handle that I've whittled down to a blunt tip, which is about what a soil tester does. And every so often I will just come over here and try to poke it. This is freshly compacted and wet. It's not dry yet. It's about, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches thick. And this thing will bury with all of my weight on it. It'll bury down to about right there. So I guess about 1 inch. And that's before it's dried. Come over here to some of these spots where it's been drying for a couple of days. It doesn't compress at all. Not one bit. It will not compress. I can run the bucket over that and it won't chip up. What I like to do is spread one whole layer of wherever it is I'm working, and then move over to somewhere else and let that area completely dry before I put another layer on top of it. I had the luxury of time, so I'm not doing this for money. I'm doing this to save money. So what I do is I come up here for a couple hours after work, and I'll work for 2 hours, 3 hours, put down as much as I can, and then leave, and then it'll bake in the sun before I get here the next day for 5 or 6 hours and be completely whitish, yellowy, whatever, dry, and it'll be hard as a rock. And it doesn't matter if it rains for days, it will still be hard as a rock. The top layer of it might be soft, but that's it. I can drive over this when it's raining and the tractor won't sink, and I can go get this stick when it's raining and push down on it, and with it raining for hours, it might sink 2 inches and then stop. There's no place where I've ever seen that I can just plunge all the way down, 6 inches or something. There was 1 or 2 spots like that when I first started doing this, and I just took the backhoe and cleaned it out, and put some red dirt in it, that's this rocky red stuff, and then poked it with the stick again until I was satisfied that it was really hard. And that's what I'm doing everywhere. I don't test every load, but every so often, like this, if I'm questioning, I'll just get this out and try to stab it and see. This, I mean, this chunk is, I weigh 180 some pounds. And it rained all night last night, and that buried maybe that much. So that is how I am compacting the foundation. So I'm compacting the whole thing all the way across.